Imagine waking up tomorrow morning and discovering that one single company has quietly become one of the most strategically important forces in the entire American economy. A company so deeply connected to retirement funds, artificial intelligence, and Wall Street that millions of ordinary Americans are already financially tied to its future without even realizing it. If you own a retirement account, an S&P 500 index fund, or even a simple 401k, there's a strong chance you already own part of this company. Your retirement savings, your future financial security, increasingly connected to whether this empire keeps growing. That company is NVIDIA. And behind closed doors on Wall Street, analysts are quietly debating a terrifying question. Is NVIDIA building the foundation of the next era of American wealth? Or are millions of investors sitting inside one of the most concentrated market trades in modern financial history? Because what happens next may shape retirement portfolios and the American economy for decades. For years, most Americans thought NVIDIA was simply a gaming company. Wall Street treated NVIDIA like a niche hardware manufacturer. If you weren't building gaming PCs, you probably barely knew the company existed. Then something extraordinary happened. Researchers discovered that NVIDIA's gaming chips weren't just useful for rendering video game graphics. They were unbelievably effective at training artificial intelligence systems. Not slightly faster, thousands of times faster. When the AI boom exploded, every major technology company on Earth suddenly realized the same thing at the exact same time. They could not compete without NVIDIA. The AI systems generating images, writing software, automating workflows, all being trained using NVIDIA hardware. NVIDIA wasn't mining for AI gold. They became the company selling the digital shovels to the entire world. But history shows that whenever everyone rushes toward the exact same opportunity at the exact same time, markets eventually crack. NVIDIA's stock didn't simply rise, it went parabolic. Suddenly, ordinary Americans began paying attention. Teachers, Uber drivers, retirees, young investors checking stock apps before work every morning. Across America, people who had never cared about semiconductors suddenly started following NVIDIA earnings calls like sports fans watching playoff games. Because the message from Wall Street sounded unstoppable. Maybe it is. But every major financial bubble in American history was built on one dangerous phrase. In 1999, Wall Street believed Cisco would dominate the future forever. In 2007, Americans believed housing prices could never fall nationally. Today, NVIDIA sits at the center of the AI revolution, wearing the same crown of inevitability. The difference? NVIDIA possesses something the dot-com companies desperately lacked. Real profits, massive profits. And those profits may be the single reason this story becomes either the greatest technology boom in modern history or one of the most dangerous market concentrations America has ever seen. Unlike many speculative tech companies from previous bubbles, NVIDIA is generating staggering amounts of real cash. Revenue hit approximately $130 billion. But the profitability is even more shocking. NVIDIA's gross margins have hovered around 75%. More profit per dollar than Apple. More than some of the world's most exclusive luxury brands. Why? Because right now, they possess something almost no company in history has ever achieved. Near total pricing power during a technological arms race. Microsoft, Meta, Amazon, Alphabet. Together, the largest tech corporations on Earth are preparing to spend nearly $500 billion building AI infrastructure. The biggest corporate technology spending war in modern history. Because in Silicon Valley, nobody can afford to fall behind. If one company builds superior AI first, the competitive advantage could reshape entire industries. And right now, NVIDIA controls the hardware powering nearly all of it. Here is the economic reality most investors ignore. NVIDIA designs the chips, but NVIDIA does not manufacture them. Nearly every advanced NVIDIA AI processor is physically built by a single company, TSMC, located in Taiwan. Taiwan sits directly at the center of one of the most dangerous geopolitical flashpoints on Earth. China claims the island as its sovereign territory. The United States is committed to protecting stability in the region, and NVIDIA's entire multi-trillion-dollar empire depends on that fragile balance remaining intact. One disruption, one blockade, one geopolitical crisis, and the global AI boom doesn't merely slow down, it freezes. Overnight, silicon chips have become the oil of the 21st century. But even if geopolitical peace holds, a much more dangerous threat may already be forming inside the stock market itself. Behind the excitement on Wall Street lies a dangerous question. Institutional investors are quietly debating, are these companies actually making money from AI yet? Because right now, the largest technology firms in the world are spending staggering amounts of money building AI infrastructure. Massive data centers, expensive chips. But the actual revenue coming back from everyday consumers using AI software remains relatively small compared to the spending. That gap is where fear begins. If major technology companies eventually decide they aren't generating enough returns from AI investments, they may slash spending aggressively. And if they stop ordering chips, NVIDIA's explosive growth suddenly hits a wall, because NVIDIA has become deeply embedded inside the broader US stock market itself. If NVIDIA falls hard, retirement accounts, pension funds, and index funds across America feel the impact immediately. And historically, market bubbles rarely deflate slowly, they break suddenly. As NVIDIA's valuations surge deeper into the trillions, government filings revealed that corporate insiders and executives were steadily selling portions of their own stock holdings. While institutional investors quietly rebalance risk, ordinary retail investors often buy emotionally near market peaks. Every major financial cycle in history follows similar patterns. Near the top, excitement spreads fastest, social media hype intensifies, and everyday investors begin buying aggressively at the exact moment professional money starts becoming more cautious. And if you want to understand what sophisticated investors are quietly watching right now, you only need to follow where insiders are moving their money. Yet what many retail investors overlook, NVIDIA is not competing alone. AMD is pushing hard. Google is building custom AI chips. Amazon has its own. The moat is real, but it is not invincible. Even now, some of the world's most aggressive institutional analysts believe the skeptics may still be underestimating what artificial intelligence eventually becomes. But what if the skeptics are wrong? What if artificial intelligence becomes far more economically transformative than most technological revolutions of the modern era? If AI truly reorganizes everyday life, medicine, manufacturing, logistics, energy, and scientific discovery, then NVIDIA stops being just another technology stock. It becomes foundational infrastructure for the 21st century economy, the operating layer beneath modern civilization itself. To the bulls, investing in NVIDIA today feels similar to buying Microsoft or Amazon decades ago. Expensive at the time, obvious in hindsight. They are not betting on hype. They believe NVIDIA is becoming the foundational infrastructure layer beneath the next era of the global economy. Just as railroads, electricity grids, and the internet did before it. The real question investors must ask themselves is whether today's stock prices reflect reality or future expectations that may already be priced too aggressively. Perhaps NVIDIA truly will become the operating engine of the next technological era, or perhaps history is preparing to repeat itself once again. The reality is that nobody truly knows the future. Every bubble sounds rational while it is inflating. Every technological revolution appears unstoppable before the correction arrives. But sometimes, the world changes permanently anyway. The railroad bubble devastated thousands of families, but the track stayed in the ground and built modern America. The dot-com crash destroyed trillions in wealth, but the fiber optic cable stayed and created the modern internet. And simultaneously, some of the world's largest hedge funds are quietly positioning themselves for what happens if it doesn't. Win or lose, the AI infrastructure being built today is likely permanent. The question is never whether the technology survives. The question is always, at what price did you buy in? Tonight, Millions of ordinary Americans will check their retirement accounts hoping NVIDIA's green line continues climbing. And if artificial intelligence truly becomes the next industrial revolution, then NVIDIA may become the foundational infrastructure layer beneath the next era of human civilization. Whether NVIDIA crashes or reshapes the frontier of artificial intelligence entirely, this story is far from over.